Hello, and welcome to episode 16 of Better Together, the Work Skills Foundation podcast series. We are happy to have you with us, and I have with me in the studio today Stacey Anderson and Kim Harbaugh. So, Stacey, hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi, Kim.
Hello.
Hi, Julie.
What's new?
Well, I feel so excited because today not only are we talking with Kim and we're going to get all the deets on all the cool things residential is doing and things like that, but it is a very special month here at Work Skills.
It is, because October, in case you didn't know, is NDEAM. It is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. It's the 80th year that we celebrate value and talent that people with disabilities bring to the workplace. So it made sense to have Kim come here. So hi, Kim.
Hello.
And tell us a little bit about you personally, anything you want to share, like those 9 grandchildren. And then, how you heard about Work Skills, how long you've been here, and just a little bit about you.
Well, as you threw out there, I have 9 grandbabies, 4 children. I have lived in Michigan my whole life, and before 2018, I never even considered doing caregiving. It was just something that kind of fell into my lap.
What were you doing?
I was selling used cars. My ex-husband and I owned a car dealership, so did that for 15 years and moved up north to retire, so to speak, and couldn't sit still. So I went and seen an ad for caregiver, and I'm like, I could do that. And, I raised 4 kids. I got 9 grandbabies. How hard could it be? And I fell in love with it. And so I've been a caregiver / supervisor since 2018. Was having withdrawals for my grandchildren and my children, so I moved back downstate. And I really didn't know what I wanted to get back into. So Work Skills actually reached out to me through Indeed, and I'm glad they did because I love it here. They're just amazing, the things that they offer, programs, support throughout the company is just amazing.
And how long have you been with Work Skills?
I have been with Work Skills for almost a year, November 1st.
Okay.
Wow. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And tell us a little bit about your current role.
I am the home supervisor at our Genoa House. So it's a 6-resident home, and basically we're kind of trying to develop them into more independent living, giving them and teaching them skills to where that they can further themselves and succeed in life. If it's just basic ADLs or something more detailed as far as going out into the community and working or volunteering, anything like that. We have quite a wide range in our home, from age as far as young as 20 all the way up to 50s. So they're very active in my home. So we try to engage. We offer, just things in the home that we do to include everybody, life skills, cooking, cleaning, just anything that they want to do, anything they want to learn, we encourage it
I have
wholeheartedly.
so many questions right now.
I know, I
my
do too.
brain is on fire, but for the sake of time, we use a lot of acronyms in our profession. So will you tell us what ADL stands for?
It is activities of daily living. So basically, brushing teeth, getting yourself ready for the day, laundry skills, dishes, basic cooking skills, just every day-to-day things that they need to succeed to create a level of independence.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, Stacey, go.
Yeah. So when you are teaching these skills, obviously, I'm sure there's like a learning curve for everybody. Can you tell us a great success story that came out of this? Like somebody really latching on and feeling independent.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really been in my role at Genoa for long, but since I've been there, we have a couple of clients that It's hard. Everybody binges on things. You know, you have snacks, you have this, you have that. You know, been working on teaching them healthy choices in portion control, you know, making their own meals in a more healthier way, not necessarily just grabbing pre-prepared. So we've noticed an increase in participation at mealtime and meal prep, and then reading labels and seeing what is in it as opposed to just eating it. So we've got probably about 3 clients right now there. We have seen both emotionally and medical changes, like weight loss or decrease in medications.
Really?
Yeah, just from making healthier choices and being aware and taking, you know, a greater participation in what they're putting into their bodies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and I know I sort of know how it works in residential. So this home is for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, correct? And we won't mention any names, but there's so many things I want you to talk about, but I'll try and slow down a little bit. You know, as I talk to people about work skills in the residential program, they say, oh, well, you know, staff people live there. And it's like, well, not exactly. So the home health care, but then this leads to my question, which is, you talk about mealtime. Does everybody eat together, like family style, and now you just do your thing?
We try to encourage eating family style. Some people have more of an anxiety when it comes to that, just the noise level in the talking. So we respect that. So if it's something to where we know somebody has that trigger as far as loud talking, a lot of conversation, noises when they're eating can all be a trigger. So we try to respect that. So we don't necessarily push that envelope if they want to go back and, you know, eat at a side table or something because it's too noisy, or they would rather eat ahead of time or after everybody's done. But we do encourage a family style meal, even with staff, to sit down and eat at the same time with you know, our clients. So that way it's conversation starters, it promotes social skills, and just kind of adds more of a warmth to the home.
Right. So staff, I'm sorry, did you want
You're
to?
good. You're good. I just love the conversation.
Right, so, right, because I sort of think I know how it works, but I want everyone who's watching or listening to know. So are there always staff there? Is it one-on-one with the client to a staff person, or how does that work?
No, we have 24-hour staffing, but we have, again, 6 clients in the home, and it's a 3-to-1 ratio. So for every 3 clients, we have 1 staff.
Okay.
The only time that there is ever like a one-on-one is we do have weekly outings to where we give that person a chance to go do things on their own. Gives them a little bit of a chance to get away from the home, go out shopping, they can go out to eat, go out to the park, whatever they choose to do, and then that's their one-on-one time with staff. So, you know, it helps to build the relationship between staff and client. And we try to make sure we rotate that, you know, with staffing, so it's not just one person.
Next question answered.
I'm a mind reader in case I didn't
should
disclose that.
scare you.
Probably very important skill to have.
It is a very important skill. So is the mom look. That's a very important skill too.
You're a very cool mom.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, as far as staffing goes, we really encourage kind of a relaxed atmosphere. So a lot of engagement, you know, game playing, you know, like I said, helping them do things throughout the day, encouraging them, even as small things as far as grocery orders. Hey, you want to help me do the grocery list? You know, what things do you think you can go? We go take them out to the grocery store and say, let's go look for new healthy choices. Let's see what we can do. And so we encourage that with staff too. So it's just like one big happy family.
I love the focus on nutrition and some of those items that tend to go to the wayside, even in, you know, typical households. You know, you look for convenience or, you know, the priority is different. And I love that, you know, we really kind of ratchet it back to what is best. What are those immediate innate life skills that need to happen, and then grow from there.
Right. And that is kind of what, you know, we're trying to instill in our person served too, is that, you know, if you do get to that level where you can, you know, go from the group home into a more independent setting, to give them the tools to maintain that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you're out on your own, we all remember when we were, first moved out of our
Go to
parents' house.
college.
Yes.
What did you do? You ate pizza, ramen noodles, and McDonald's all the time. And it's easy to fall back into that.
Yeah.
But if we provide them with the knowledge and the tools to maintain that, and they feel better, and they tell us that, wow, I'm not so tired all the time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're eating healthier. You're giving your body what it needs.
Right.
So that's our ultimate goal, is to not only teach them in the setting now, but to give them an air of success later on,
Right.
so they can continue that. And they actually go home and tell their families, and teach their families, hey,
Nice.
we shouldn't eat this. This isn't good for us.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, what is the average stay? Is there an average stay?
No, there's not. I mean, ultimately, our goal is to, when a person comes in, just depending on their level of disability, you'd like to say, I don't know, a couple of years, you would like to see them be able to move on, but that's not always the case. So it just it depends on the individual in the home. Because again, you have to take into consideration, what is their level of supervision? What is their level of medical need? While our ultimate goal, again, is to get them out into an apartment setting where they can have a roommate, or, live on their own with just, a phone call away type supervision. We don't push it, because, again, it's a comfort level for them. So,
Well, I think that's very important. And, we do have the apartments too. And some people go directly from the residential home to an apartment. Some people are placed directly into apartments. And since we're talking about NDEAM, one thing you mentioned, all the outings and things they do, but I do believe these people also go to work.
we do have a couple of individuals that go to work. They either do like work skills through the VOTE program, or we have one of our clients, and he does a program through school. It's called PrEP, and it's through Torch 180 out in Fowlerville. Nice little plug for you. Remember me when I want a free Danish.
There you go. We love Torch 180.
But they offered a program there to where it's like a kitchen prep training. So he started off going in and doing more like sanitary things, clearing tables, dishes. And then when he went back this school year, they got him more into food prep. So it's like a graduation. He's got a little chef hat he wears, and he's so proud of
that's
himself.
fun.
So he does do that, and it gives him direction, and it also gives him purpose. So you do see that. He comes in and he tells us every time when he comes home from work, guess what I did today? We made red velvet cake, and I got to do everything but the dye. And I says, well, okay, that's amazing. I'm proud of you.
And where's my sample?
Right. Oh, you probably ate it. He's a cake guy, so.
Who isn't?
Well, and I know, I'm pretty sure that someone whom you've met is a resident of that home and spoke at one of our other events. And I do believe that she's kind of living a more independent lifestyle because she is a part of Artisan Corner.
Yeah.
And is making really cool things and earning an income as a professional
I think
artist.
I know who you're talking about. That's at Howell House, though.
Oh, she's at the Howell House.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, she's amazing. I've seen some of her work. I used to go and sit with her when she was in the art program and watch her transform, just an average piece of paper into this beautiful work of art. And she's amazing at it.
Yeah.
So people go on outings, people go shopping, they do recreational things, people go to work. How do they get there?
We usually provide transport. Staff does.
In your personal cars, or do
No,
we have vehicles?
we have Work Skills has blessed us with 2 wonderful vehicles. So we usually do transport in those. Occasionally, they have, Let's Bus that comes and picks up, as far as going out to the Torch 180, we arrange Let's because it's paid for through CMH, being as how it's through the schools.
What is CMH?
Community Mental Health.
Thank you.
It's like a quiz here.
It is. Didn't you study? Come on, Count.
I know. But for the most part, we transport just because it, again, creates that personal bond that develops between staff and clients. So
Right, car rides. Have you ever been in a car ride with your children and learned things you didn't even know you didn't know?
Sometimes it opens up lots of different avenues for conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are residents able to sort of personalize their rooms, or
Oh,
do
absolutely.
do they take a lot of ownership in
Oh,
their
yes. We have everything
space?
from Red Wings sports fans to Pokemon to Mario to variety of whatever. So their rooms are their own treasures. Everything in there reflects upon their personalities, their likes, their interests, and we encourage it just because, everybody needs that safe space.
Well, and how important is independence, right? So we have people who are earning an income, which gives them a little bump in their self-confidence. And then they live in this, quite frankly, beautiful home. I remember it was during COVID when we were doing it, and I would just stop by. You couldn't go anywhere, but I could go there because there was nobody within 6 feet of anything. And I would think, oh, I'm just going to do a little Facebook Live. And I would turn on my phone and I'd be walking around and I'd be like, oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. I was so excited. And I love that they have that place. So the common areas are beautiful. We had a WOW meeting there. The exterior, it's like 7 acres or
Yes.
something.
Yep.
And it's so important. Work is such
very
a
peaceful.
huge part of who we are and what we do. Like, how many hours do we spend at work? Don't answer, right?
Yeah, don't answer.
But for someone who maybe has never held a job or gotten a paycheck for working, it's huge, right? It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of community, and it benefits the people you work with as well.
Right.
Right? Remember when we had the kids from Legacy here?
Yes.
And they were talking about, so they have the Legacy Sports Center. They have Work Skills employees there amongst their staff. And our people are kind of their favorite, right? Because they show up and they're like, I'm here. What can I do today?
Right.
And I don't know if you've ever encountered those people who are like, oh, here I am. What do you need?
Attitude makes a huge difference.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And it's upbuilding. When you have a purpose and you go in and you can see when you start from point A and develop it into something, it gives you that sense of worth. So it's like just building up your morale and just looking at the changes, in their demeanor, the gleam in their eye or whatever when they come home and tell you what they did. It warms your heart. It really does.
Yeah.
So I'm big on community involvement and community awareness because there's always been that stigma.
Yeah.
So I like to encourage as much of that as I can.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Payday looks like in the house? Do you have people that are excited when they come back with their paychecks, or do they have goals that they are saving up for? No.
It is spent before they they're
my
already
kind of
planning
people.
their outings. It's
On the
like
way home.
Yeah, I get paid this week and I can't wait to see what I get, and as soon as it hits my account and I go on my outing, I'm going to buy this and this, and I'm like, okay, well, that's great. But they are excited. Come payday, it's usually like tapping nails on the table type situation. Like, when is it going to hit my account? Is it there yet? And they're checking like 5 times.
Oh,
I do that. Yeah. Like coat, shoes on, ready to go. It hit. Let's go. Let's go on my outing.
What are some of the things that they get? Do you know? Anything stand out?
We have one she loves clothes. Every time she gets anything, she goes out and buys clothes.
I love it.
Yep. And then
Word.
then we have our coffee people who will go out and buy, the $9 foo coffees. And I think it's just more or less getting out.
Yeah.
They like to just get out, browse, see what's out there, see what's new. And then, all in all, I think they're pretty responsible with their choices in what they get. So, when it's, like I said, with the nutrition thing, if it's a case of because we always encourage healthy choices, but outings are more a free for all.
Sure.
So if you want to go out and buy, right. So if you want to go out and buy muffins or cupcakes or whatever, then, you worked hard for your money. And you've noticed a decline in that too. So it's like,
Oh.
Because you've ruined their brains.
I have ruined it. I
You
am a
poisoned
ruiner.
them.
I know, with healthy choices.
Oh, goodness. I love, I love seeing the progress, and I love, especially with this month being so special, that we're talking about building independence and healthy choices and sort of owning your reality and your future. Can you tell us about what it's like when somebody first comes into the house?
You know, it's a very emotional time because usually they're coming either out of a home setting, so they've been living with their parents or some type of family member for a long time, or they're coming out, from another place that might have closed down or wasn't a good fit. So it's a very emotional time, not only for the person that's moving in, but for also the clients that have been there for a while, because you just don't know. You don't know the person, so we try to make sure that, we encourage personalization and group activities, especially during those first few weeks, so everybody can get to know each other. You can kind of find that commonality with each other. But it's stressful, not just for the person moving in, but the clients and staff, because you're trying to learn everything in a very short period of time and making sure you provide that level of comfort and support. So we kind of make sure that during that time, we are very engaging. We encourage more socialization within the home. And then sometimes we'll do like, let's all go, who wants to go to the movies? Let's go to the movies. Or let's, do movies downstairs or karaoke or whatever it might be. So we just kind of try to build that bridge, is not as quickly, but as efficiently as we can. So it makes a transition a little bit less stressful, a little, less hard on everybody.
Well, and I remember with both homes, both the Howell House, which was, I think, 2014, 2015, and this one in 2020, when all of a sudden it's finished and we're ready for residents, people are like, okay, so yes, you can have 6 residents, but no, you can't take 6 people, especially those with special needs, and put them all in this group environment. So it was 1 and get that person assimilated, and then add number 2, and because every new person changes the dynamic.
It does.
And I know in the years that we've been doing residential, there have been some cases where it wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's nobody's fault. I mean, do you remember when did you ever live with roommates and, you didn't always get along? They weren't always best friends.
My current roommate, my husband, and
I like that.
go through this.
Good thing Phil doesn't watch these podcasts.
Sorry, Phil. But yeah, I think it's a totally normal situation, but it's amped up, right? Like the ecosystem is almost like put under a microscope because you have so many really delicate dynamics at play.
Yes, it's finding the best fit, it's almost like finding that ingredient that you need to make your recipe. And you can't just put any ingredient in there. You have to find the right ingredient. And if you don't, it can change the whole dynamic of the home. So it is a very delicate situation. It's a very, it's a slower process because you do have to educate yourself about whoever potentially could be moving in prior, and ask the harder questions to make sure that it's a good mesh for your home, because you have to have that good blend, that flow.
And safety.
Right.
I mean, it's all very real, and that's, I think, one of the things that Work Skills does very well across the board is helping people learn like just life skills, right? Like how to problem solve, how to get along with other people, how to accept constructive criticism, right? And for those who are at Work Skills working, they're getting that training there. Right. And I know in the home, because the staff, residential and home care, you guys are always doing trainings. I don't know how you have time
I
to
don't know.
sleep or do
Right.
anything, but you're very good at what you do, and it shows because
Thank you.
as far as I know, our participants, our residents are pretty happy living where they live.
Yeah.
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 The ones that I've spoken with are really proud about being a resident there and what they learn. And, it's just the culture, I think, within the home itself is so important. And you're providing such a healthy, kind, accepting culture. And that's pretty special. And when we talk about certainly the dynamics of bringing in one of these individuals into work, I think that's what's so special about our partners too, is they provide these really special, healthy cultures at work too. So similar to what you were saying about having the right ingredients, that one needs to be a culture of acceptance and kindness and learning from each other.
Right.
And I think that's so important.
Yeah. Well, that's what we kind of try to promote too, is that you do have some people, and it's with everybody really. When you are learning something new and you have that self-doubt, you're, I don't know how to do that, or I've never done that. And it's just offering that level of comfort or adapting something to where it's easier for them to do it. So it's just making sure that you're paying attention to cueing. You're really listening. You have to be a good listener to be a good caregiver.
Right.
And just, we encourage even, our other clients, if they're actively participating in something, you have somebody that's a little standoffish, and it's like, well, why don't you show them how you do it? And that's not only provides them with a teaching opportunity, so it gives them a little bit of self-confidence that, hey, I must be doing it good because they want me to show so-and-so how to do it. But it also provides a level of comfort for that other individual. So they're like, well, okay, yeah, maybe I can do this,
And now maybe they have a new friend.
Right.
And again, Todd, right? Remember he talked about in the lunchroom and somebody teaching someone else eventually how to use the microwave. It's a really cool story. So look for that episode with Todd. It was the same
a good
thing.
one.
It was the same thing though, because he talked about this person who sat there with his lunch every day in the lunchroom until somebody said, hey, do you want to warm that up? And he said, yeah. So I'm probably ruining the story. So then somebody, a staff person or somebody showed him how to use the microwave, and then fast forward, and he's showing another work skills participant how to use the microwave.
Right.
So it's what we do.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit, Kim, like what are things that you need in the house? What are needs that arise often?
The adaptability, to be able to adapt to things, to situations. And it's more getting people, because a lot of people get into that mindset because they've been taught a certain way how to do things, especially in newer staff, you see it. So it's just having the tools and the training ourselves to teach other people. It doesn't always have to be done this way.
Sure.
There's not necessarily a correct way to meet the end result. Sometimes you have to think outside the box. So it's just providing that education to staff and clients that just because it's not the way that you might see it on YouTube or that, your mom and dad might have done it, doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right.
You can still reach your goal with just doing things a little bit differently, and that's okay. So I think just, providing that or those tools and the training to get people to understand that nothing is concrete in this world and nothing is black and white.
Right.
You have to look into those shades of gray in order to be successful in any aspect. So I think that's one of our biggest challenges that we have, especially in new caregivers, people that have never done it before, because they don't really know. I didn't know when I first started. I went in there, blind as a bat, and I'm just like, oh wow, because I did a very high level of care. It was all hands-on care.
Okay.
So it was night and day, but gradually through watching other staff and really listening and watching client needs and abilities, it opened my mind to a lot. And it helped me because my grandson he's 5 and he has level 4 autism. I look at it as it was meant to be for me to be a caregiver because now I have guardianship of him. So if I wouldn't have had those tools going in and that understanding of disabilities, I feel like I wouldn't know what to do to provide him with the tools. So it's a blessing for me to have found caregiving and to do what I do. So, because now he's my little baby. So
Yeah, and he's benefiting from all of your brilliance and training.
Because I can take the tools that I've learned through work and take that home and provide him with
I love that.
levels of success. So
Well, and our, the people in our homes are adults, right? And things I've learned over the years, a lot of times some people talk to someone with a disability as if they are a 4-year-old child, right? Like, oh, hi, sweetie, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would not come up to you and say, oh, hi, honey, how are you? Just it's been a whole mind shift for me, which is fine. But I think it's really cool. There's so many things I've learned at Work Skills that I use in my everyday life, right? I probably have learned more from our participants.
And they are the coolest people in the whole world. I love going to Work Skills just to see those faces.
Right.
They're fantastic. And I love your comment about adaptability because I think that is a skill that gets often overlooked across the board, disabilities, ability, whatever it may be, that, this is all set in Jell-O. Whatever you're doing.
Gosh, I like that. Yeah.
Like we can give and take and move and, it doesn't need to be, this is not the only one answer.
Right.
There's always another way, as they say in Moana 2. But there is, and that's such a great skill to teach not only the residents, but ourselves, our children, our community. I think of the guys at Legacy Sports and our partners across the county who are employing our clients. If you just kind of wiggle things a little bit differently, you can get an incredible employee, a wonderful product, and a really great outcome.
Yeah.
And that it's just that easy. And, when you talk about autism too, especially, talk about being stuck in the black or the white. What an exercise to kind of live in the gray.
Right.
And, again, find that ingredient to make that recipe shine. So I love the way that you put that. And it's so evident in the house that you are all masters at adaptability.
You have to be.
Oh my gosh, your world has to change like every single day.
It does. And the beautiful thing about it is what you learn, like what I've learned being a caregiver and working at Work Skills, I take that home with me. I implement that in my everyday life. So all those things where I thought I might have a certain way of doing it, or this is the way it needs to be done, I've learned that no, it might take you a little bit longer to get to the end result, but in the end, it's the same result.
And it makes so much sense, doesn't it? Just to look at something differently instead of rushing through because this is the way to do it.
And to have fun doing it. Because I think we lose a lot of that in life. We're so worried about getting to the end and finishing the product or finishing whatever it is we're doing that it becomes a chore. And we lose the fun.
Yep.
And why? We need to have that. It kind of, gives you that little bit of, serotonin boost to, have fun while you're doing an activity. I mean, I went out on a slip and slide the first time in 30 years this summer and I had a blast. And all because...
Can we play that video now, please?
Well, funny you should mention that.
Right. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? But, just taking that step back and learning to enjoy life again and not taking everything for granted. Because we do. We take a lot of things for granted. And it's just, it's eye-opening.
One thing that I've learned with the work skills culture and environment is this is a group project too. So as we talk about adaptability and learning new skills and trying to figure out new ways to get to our end goal, bringing others in to help you see where those blind spots are, to help you consider a different perspective as you're dealing with a situation or an individual who might meet a really big challenge for you to figure out, I think is so important. And so, again, a compliment to the residential community here. I think that the fact that you all approach this as a group project, it's nobody's assigned task. It's how are we going to do this together?
Yeah. Right.
And that's you look at any kind of situation from a board level, from a committee level, whatever it may be. When you look at it from a group perspective, and everybody's bringing their talents and everybody's teaching others, that's where you get all the skills that you're talking about. You're getting we're teaching others, you're getting the learning from others, the trying new things, using the skills you've created together. And I just think that this is such a wonderful work product of that, if that's the right word. Example.
Right.
I would give you an A.
Thanks. Strive for those A's.
But okay. I want to wrap this up at some point today, but I have so many things on my mind. First of all, I want to thank Kim. I just met you yesterday kind of by chance. You were already scheduled to be a guest, but now knowing you a bit more, I would totally buy a used car from you.
Well, thanks.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think it would be like the best experience ever.
For sure. I'd probably learn something new along the way.
You would.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's
I'm
okay.
not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I'm just me. And speaking of me, I didn't do anything about who I am, but who cares? Everybody knows me. However, Stacey, I feel really bad because who are you? Why are you here?
Why do you feel bad?
Because I didn't.
They know me too.
Okay, fine. So we're just these two chicks who walked into Speakeasy Podcast Studio to do a podcast today. In all seriousness, Stacey is on the foundation board. She is the chair of the development committee. I am the development director for the Work Skills Foundation. Kim is the supervisor at one of our residential homes. And for those who are listening and or watching, if you're just listening, you're totally missing out. You guys, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah, it's worth watching. However, we want to thank you for spending some time with us today and encourage you, if you have not been to Work Skills for a tour, please reach out and come and see where the magic happens, meet our awesome participants. Unfortunately, we can't take you to tour the residential home because it's their home. So when it was being built and the various stages along the way, I did give tours there. We did have a couple of meetings there, and it was really something to see. Unfortunately, we can't do that because it's their home. So
Well, but here's what we can do.
what can we do,
You
Stace?
can look at pictures of it.
Oh,
online.
absolutely.
You can. Julie has obviously some really great live videos of what it looks like inside, and it's beautiful. Some other things that we can do right now is we need ambassadors. So if you can share, follow, and like on social media, anything work skills related, that's a huge, huge help to us. Additionally, we're going to be having some really big, fun things coming up here this fall. So please pay attention and join the movement, if you will. So thank you so much for being here, Kim.
Well,
It's
thank you
such
for
a
having
pleasure.
me. I had a lot of fun.
Yes.
Good. So this is us signing off episode 16 of Better Together. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Bye.